What's going on, you guys? Welcome back to my channel and to another video. Before we get started into today's video, you guys know the drill. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, like this video, and turn on the notification bell so you will be notified when I upload future videos. All right, today is another storytime video, and this one is an interesting one. Probably one of my craziest experiences meeting a guy off of Grindr. So you guys are really gonna wanna hear this story today. This one is all about when I met a guy that was into P&P, which is party and play. Now, a lot of guys in the gay community will have sex while doing drugs because it gives you this like ultra orgasm, but it can be really crazy. I didn't even know the guy was into it. It kind of just happened one step at a time. I'm not going to ruin any of the story, so let's just get straight into the video. So this story takes place back in Nanaimo, where I am from. I was 25 years old, so this was about 5 years ago. And one day, it was summertime, and I was just chilling at home. I had nothing to do, so I was just on Grindr, chatting with a guy. He seemed really cool. The guy was really good looking, and he said he was interested in meeting. I had never seen this guy on Grindr or anywhere else before. And Nanaimo's gay scene is quite small, so you pretty much know everybody. I had never seen this guy before, so I was really interested in getting together. He said just to come to his place in the downtown area in Nanaimo, and I was like, sure. So I got his address and I headed on over. When I arrived to his apartment, I was sending him messages, but I was getting absolutely no response. I just decided to wait around for like 15 minutes just to see if the guy would message back, but I was getting nothing. If he didn't get back, then I knew this dude was just playing around really hard, just like a lot of people do on Grindr. And no one wants to be dicked around like that. Like, we were chatting for like a couple hours and he was like, come over. So it's like, fuck, come on. Like, do I really have to be the one being put in this situation? But apparently I was. So after a few more minutes of just waiting around, not sure if I'm gonna get a message back or not, someone pulls up in a car. It's some guy right outside the building that I am waiting at. And it was actually someone that knew me. We had chatted on Grindr before. We had never met up in person, only chatted online just a little bit. So he called me over to his car and was like, hey, you're David, right? And I was like, yeah. He asked me if I was also waiting for someone to message me back that lived in this building as well. So once we realized we were both waiting on a message, we were just like, fuck. So obviously we're just getting dicked around by somebody. But he actually asked me if I wanted to hang out anyways, since we're both here. And, you know, he wasn't a bad looking guy and he had a really nice car. So I was just like, sure, why not? I got nothing else to do. I hopped in his car and he asked me if I wanted to go to his place. But the only thing is that he lived a few towns over. So I was like, whatever. Okay, let's go to your house. Let's hit the liquor store first. I need a couple drinks for this. And the drive was actually pretty cool. He turned out to be not a bad guy, easy to talk to, and like the conversation was just flowing, which is the best. Meeting someone actually cool from Grindr never happens. It was a bit refreshing to meet someone that I could actually talk to and hang out with. We arrived at his house, we got in, and the first thing I noticed was that he actually had a really, really nice place. Like big open room, high ceiling, these big glass windows with like beautiful views of the water. He lived in this really nice laneway house behind like a really, really big house. And so I was like, wow, like he's got a nice car, he's got a really nice place. Like, this is awesome. And I was thinking to myself, like, why hadn't I met this guy in the past before? Like, he seems really cool. Everything's checking out. So we sat down and we were just like bantering and like having really good chats about both growing up on the island and like where we're from and all this and that. But he just kept getting up and leaving like every couple minutes, like here and there. And when he would come back, he was just being like super weird. So it was obvious that he was leaving to like do something, but I wasn't actually sure what. But after a couple more hours of hanging out, and a few drinks later, we ended up, of course, getting closer and our clothes came off. So we went into his bedroom and we got on the bed. And literally a few seconds later, I look over at his nightstand and I saw a meth pipe. And I was like, oh, okay, that's what you were doing. And I just remember being like, whoa, like, that's intense. Like in my head, I was just like, holy crap. Like, I mean, I had a feeling you were doing something, but I didn't know you were going to like smoke meth and then come back. But I was like, whatever, whatever. So we continued and we started to have intercourse. And when he was getting penetrated, he was on his back. No joke, like less than a minute after we're going at it, he starts like feeding me like punches, like into my stomach, like as we're like going at it. And I'm just like, what the hell's going on here? Like, I'm just like, this is getting really, really weird. Like his eyes were like bulging out of his face and he was like kind of shaking and like feeding me shots to the gut like we're like two gay MMA fighters having sex. Like it was super, super weird. He's like doo, doo, giving me like the Mike Tyson, like 1, 2, right into my gut, like a whole bunch. And I was just like, okay, okay, like I am over this. Like the punches didn't hurt, but it was just so weird. Like, why are you like punching me and like giving me this like crazy possessed look? And I mean, obviously it was because he was smoking meth. Like he was out of his mind and just like feeling the moment, that PNP, he was probably in bliss. But I mean, I was just drunk and I was not expecting that. So I'm like, whoa, I got to get the hell out of here. So right after we put our clothes back on, and I mean, in my head, I'm like, holy crap, like I should get the hell out of here. But then at the same time, I was just drunk and I had no other plans going on that day. And it was in a pretty spot. So I was like, you know what, whatever. Like that was super weird, but I still just wanted to kind of hang out, have a couple more drinks and just chill for a bit. If I had other plans and a way to get out, I would have been like out of there, especially if I was sober. Like I would have been gone. But you know, the booze keeps kicking in because I keep constantly drinking. So I'm like getting drunker and drunker. And I was just like, you know what, whatever. If that's what he's into, like I'll just chill out for a little bit. Then eventually he said he was going to drive me back to town and I was so ready to get out of there. But thinking back, like if I was sober, I obviously just would have caught the bus. Like I got into this guy's car with him driving high on meth. Do not do that, kids. Not a good idea. Honestly, meeting people off Grindr has been the most strange experiences of my life. I have met the weirdest people from Grindr ever. And I know a lot of you watching know exactly what I'm talking about. You can meet some really weird people from Grindr. There's so many trolls, so many super hyped up fetish people. No kink shaming. I'm just saying that like, man, when you are a bit more of like a vanilla guy, more casual, it can be extreme. Like you'll get guys saying they want to like sniff your toes, like, you know, lick your body. They want you to get all sweaty and hot for them so they can like worship your sweat. Like, again, no kink shaming. It can just be really, really strange. I was using Grindr for years, off and on, and I have met a couple really cool people on there who are actually still my friends today, but I have met a lot more crazy ass people on Grindr than anywhere near normal. And watch out for who you meet on Grindr. If you are more of like a vulnerable person that can get taken advantage of, do not ever meet anyone at their house. Meet them in public first. Also, check them out on Facebook and Instagram and try and get a really good judgment of what they're like from there first before you go to their house at all. I made this mistake too many times. You go to someone's house the first time you meet and they are like the fucking weirdest person ever. So avoid that altogether. I was lucky enough that like, you know, I could hold my own and if any shit went down, like I can handle myself. But, you know, if you are not strong and small, do not meet at anyone's house. Seriously, like you could get really hurt. I actually had a roommate back in the day that I met off Grindr and he seemed to be really cool at first. So I needed a roommate and he moved in. Everything was really cool for a little while. Eventually it came apparent that he was like a drug addict, but he hid it really well. It was just crazy. And then he ended up starting to drug my drinks one night. And then I was like, okay, this roommate-ship needs to end. And we did not live together anymore. Again, even if you meet someone and they seem okay at first, sometimes they can just be so crazy as time goes on. Like, people are just whack, especially from Grindr. That video is actually up on my channel, so go check it out if you want to see the full video of me getting drugged by my roommate. Crazy story. But I am now happily engaged to my beautiful, handsome man, and I could not be happier. My Grindr days are in the past, and I am going to be getting married and living my life a married man, and it makes me so happy. All right, you guys, I hope you enjoyed today's storytime video. Again, like a crazy, crazy story from my past. Like, I think I have so many more that I'm going to be sharing with you guys. It's just because I'm a really outgoing dude and I was never really afraid of meeting anybody. And I would go into every situation like, just like, let's go, let's hang out, let's see what happens. And man, from doing that, I met a lot of interesting people. But it gives me some really cool stories to tell. Well, maybe not cool, maybe a little scary. Thank you for coming on back and watching another video, you guys. Do not forget to hit that subscribe button, like this video, and turn on the notification bell. Once again, I love you guys so much. Come on back for more, and I will see you guys again really soon. Okay, bye guys.